So what does it mean to play in the realm of God frequency? So we're trying to tap in, but God built this matrix. This game is a simulation. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to be the GTA character manipulating the game rather than going to a higher frequency, which is the development level. That's where God is. So here we are. We're trying to use the law of attraction to scale our business, go to the multi-6 or 7-figure level, manifest our dream relationship, right? We're trying to bend the matrix to our relationships and what we want. But we first have to understand that it's not at the character level, it's at the development level, AKA frequencies. In this video, I'm gonna be breaking down some of the knowledge that I've gathered from studying this material for the last 5 years, how I've been able to take my businesses from zero to $100,000 per month in less than 45 days twice by literally reprogramming my subconscious mind. It's not about more information, it's about bridging the gap between what you know, what you do, and taking on quantum action. It's a long lesson. Get out a piece of paper and a notebook, have a seat, and we're gonna have a nice little session. I'll see you over here. Yes, sir! What's going on, family? I'm super excited for this one. We haven't done a masterclass like this in a while. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. TikTok, Instagram, everybody's going to try to rob your attention during this nice session. It's going to be a long one, so get out your paper, get out your pen. Let's get into it straight away. So what we're talking about in this one is the gathering of knowledge of what I think is going to take some people to the next level. We call it the knowing doing gap. It was one of the lessons I learned from my mentor, Bob Proctor, that literally skyrocketed me to the next level, because the gap between where you're at and where you want to go is worth millions of dollars. Let me repeat that to you one more time. Maybe that went over your head. The gap between where you're currently at and your desired situation, that gap is worth millions of dollars if you can close it. Because that version of yourself that lives in the quantum space in the matrix where you can see yourself earning millions of dollars, he or she is here now in this present state because creation is already finished. So if we can, in a way, bend the matrix in the quantum realm where we're not going through time and space, but rather through the frequencies, you like collapse time frames and it becomes so much quicker, so much easier, and that gap is worth lots of dollars to you. Let's get into it. So, knowing, doing gap, the difference between knowing and doing and how to bridge that. Let's talk about it today. So the purpose of this lesson is going to help you become aware of your habitual and non-productive action. There's a huge gap between what people know and what they actually do. Like, think about this right now. You know exactly what you need to do to go to the next level in your life. You've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos. You probably have other tabs open right now as we speak about other influencers teaching this similar material. You know what to do mindset-wise. You know what to do in your business. You've most likely been in your business more than 6 months, right? You've been scaling your business now, earning low 6 figures, maybe low 5 figures, and you want to scale to the multiple 6 and 7-figure level, right? So you know what to do to a degree. Action-wise, you've been studying the mindset, you're doing your meditations, but yet it's still not working for you. There's more to this. And I want to preface this above everything else. I'm going to be teaching you a bunch of knowledge here, but just simply understanding this and knowing this does not mean you're going to implement it to change your life. Implementing is a whole other thing, and that's what my clients pay me for. As you guys notice here, I'm giving you a nice little video. I give information for free. What I charge for is my one-on-one time to teach you how to take this and implement it into your crypto business, into your coaching business, into your real estate business, into whatever business that you're doing now. And that is the gap that you have explosive growth in, right? So that is the gap that we need to cover. So most of us are raised in an educational system focused on memorization and not application, right? We have all these books, right? We have all these little fun books behind me. You're gathering all these knowledge, right? Taking tests, passing the test, do that for 12 years. Now you have a degree. And I'm the perfect example of that, where I have a photographic memory where I would read the book. I wouldn't study all semester. And then right before the test, maybe 1 or 2 days before the test, the end exam, I would read it, memorize everything, and literally regurgitate it, because I have a photographic memory, regurgitate it on a test and get a B A minus. And that's how I coasted through school. Graduated like a 3.7 or 3.8, something like this, right? So B minus student, B plus student, right? And I did that by just memorizing and regurgitating tests. Then I got into the business world and failed miserably for 5 years, right? It wasn't until I learned this material that you're learning now that shit started to change for me, right? And so that's how you've probably been going about it. And what does that look like in your life? You're probably watching a bunch of YouTube videos. You've taken a bunch of courses, right? You've hired coaches for strategy, marketing, ads, funnels. You're reading books, Think and Grow Rich, all these different books. You're watching a bunch of YouTube videos, law of assumption, law of this, law of that, right? You're gathering information, but yet you're not able to actually get tangible results. How do you know you understand this material? Look at your bank account. Look at your business growth. Look at the views on your channel grow. Or I don't really care about views. I don't do this for views. But look at your bank account grows. I made $15,000 in the last 24 hours. This week alone brought in about $40,000. My bank account is growing. Is your business growing? That's how you know that this works. It's not about just gathering so you can be an intellectual. I don't really care. Do I look like an intellectual to you with all these tattoos and stuff? No, I look more like a rapper. But yeah, I get paid like a rapper too, I guess you can say, because I reprogram my subconscious mind, and you can do it too. So it's not about, in today's world, it's not about knowledge. It's about results. And this is an important thing I need to hone in with you. It's about results. Honing in on your results. I don't care if you're 15 years old. I have this young guy that's in my group right now, my school group. He's 15 years old. And I said, bro, you just need to get results for people. If you can get tangible results, and results, especially if you can help people make money, whether it's through marketing, ads, funnels, whatever, you can make a lot of money. I want to tell you guys this example of this 17-year-old. He was 15 at the time. This is my best friend's younger brother. And check out this testimonial. We're going to be recording it Sunday, so be on the lookout next week for this interview. A couple years ago, my best friend, his younger brother was 15 years old at the time, and his parents wanted him to get a job, and he didn't want to get a job. So my best friend, he connected us and said, hey bro, my younger brother doesn't want to get a job. Can you pay him? Can you work with him? And we ended up connecting. His name was Artem. You're going to see his testimonial 2 years ago, right? And I told Artem, I'm not going to pay you, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you all the knowledge that I've gathered over the last 5 years, and I'm going to teach you how to reprogram your subconscious mind, how to build a business so you can scale to the next level. And mark my words, you're going to earn more money than your teachers and your parents after the 6 months. So we ended up working together, and at the end of the 6 months, I did pay him a little bit of money, but he was learning the skills. He was doing some editing for me, and guess what? I just talked to him about a month ago. He's now 17, right? So we worked together a couple years ago. Now we kind of talk here and there. We spoke a couple weeks ago, and guess what? You know how much he made last month? $150,000, almost $200,000 at 17 years old. And at a 30% profit margin, he's making anywhere from about $60,000 to $70,000 per month in profit at 17 years old. And he's going to be moving to Dubai when he turns 18. And he credits that to what I taught him here. And I teach it for you guys for free on YouTube every single day, right? And it's like, I know this stuff works. You guys have seen the testimonial. And then there's some people here that I just don't understand, right? But let's get back into it. That is an example of results driven, not knowledge driven. Results are the play here. In Bob Proctor's research, as you guys know, I studied with him for 2 years. And so what he did in 50 years of him, I think he studied for 60 years rather. And so in 60 years of his study, he found out that most people do not apply everything that they know. You know what's the exciting part? Is without further study, hold up, pay attention. Instagram has you. Don't get distracted. Pay attention right now. Without further study, meaning no more courses, no more YouTube videos, no more information, you can improve your performance and your results by simply applying that which you know. This is what I try to tell you every single day on my YouTube channel in different ways, through different videos, different hooks, different titles, different thumbnails. It's the same thing. It's not about the gathering of more knowledge, courses, or information, or working harder. It's about the reprogramming of your subconscious mind. But most importantly than that, it's the implementation of the reprogramming into your specific business model that will quantum leap you to the next level. And that takes experience. That takes knowing what to do. And I do this full time. This is what my business model runs around. And that is the key that I try to get you guys to understand. You can do that by yourself. You don't necessarily need to hire me. Damn, it's going to go way quicker because it might take you 3 years, 5 years to figure it out by yourself. Or you can do it in a quicker time frame, say 3 months or 6 months, if you hire a coach. That's the difference here. So the best way to explain it is this visual here. So on the left side, we have our knowledge, right? You know what to do. And on the right side, we have our quantum action. It's actually doing it. We need to bridge the gap between these two. This is what's holding you back. That's going to quantum leap you to the God level, and God mode is actually implementing what you know. And so check this out. You guys, I'm assuming you may have watched me before. If not, welcome to the channel. But this is what we represent as the stick figure. Okay, let's follow my mouse here. Here's the conscious mind. This is the subconscious mind. This is the body, and this is your actions, and then this is your results. So in the conscious mind, it's your ability to repeat information. It's your book knowledge, right? You're gathering technically this YouTube video is part of this. You're gathering knowledge, but just the gathering of this knowledge won't change anything for you, because you have to plant it into the subconscious mind here, which is your programming, both genetically and environmentally. This is the paradigm. This is the multitude of your habits. This is your thinking, right? This is your emotional mind. And then we have the body, which is the actions and the results, which are controlled by the paradigm. The actions which you take are controlled by the frequency in which you're operating at a subconscious level. What I like to explain is, take person A, who's operating at frequency 1, and he's going to do the same exact actions as person on frequency 2. And what happened is they'll do the same exact thing, right? Same exact action, make the same content, post the same video, do the same ad, make the same sales call, whatever thing you're doing in your business. But one person is doing it at a higher frequency. Even though it's the same actions, person 2 at a higher frequency will achieve a higher thing, because they're unlocking things at a higher frequency. So it's not about the action plane, the physical plane, it's about the frequency plane. And this is what I'm trying to do in this video, is help you close that gap between your physical plane of action and the frequency plane of the subconscious mind. Let's do it. So you have your ability to repeat information in the conscious mind, your programming in your subconscious mind, your body, which is the action part of what frequency you're operating on, which then produces your same results. So we have to understand what's going on, the gap between the two. I need you guys to pay attention. I speak to a lot of you guys. I get on sales calls with you guys. Many of you guys want to work with me. You're trying to hiring me. And it's the same consistent problem. I've noticed this gap, right? So I have 500 clients on my high ticket coaching program, right? And then 1,000, over 1,000 in general with all the micro programs. And so I've spoken to over 5,000 of you guys over the last 5 years. And I've noticed this consistent pattern that you guys are doing the meditations, you're watching the YouTube videos, you're reading the books, but ladies and gentlemen, that's not how this works. You're still not understanding. You're hearing me, but you need to listen to me implement at higher levels. It's about the quantum actions, thinking and feeling from a different frequency. This is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. And so it's not about the conscious. This is what you're doing watching all these videos. Conscious mind versus the subconscious mind. So we have two parts of the mind. The conscious mind, which is connected to your outside senses. You can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. But guess what? Your dog can also see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. A horse can also see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. A dog can only be a dog. A horse can only be a horse, but you can be whatever you want, because you have the dignity of choice and imagination and consciousness through your spiritual faculties. So also connected to your conscious mind, other than the physical faculties, is your spiritual faculties: imagination, will, reason, perception, memory, and what's the other one? Imagination, will, reason, perception, imagination, right? Consciousness, right? That's all of them, right? There's 6 of them, but I have a lot on my mind right now. But those are the faculties that we're going to use to pull yourself out of poverty and move you into the plane of the frequencies, and move you into the plane of God mode, so you can start to play at the development level, developer of the game, right? Let's just say you're GTA, you're developer level of GTA. Rockstar, who developed GTA, developing the game right now, GTA 6, rather than being the character passing the missions where it's through the matrix, through time and space. Makes sense. At the developer level, you control the entire game, which missions, what cheat codes, that's the level. That level is done not at the conscious level, it's done at the subconscious level. Makes sense. Subconscious mind now controls the actions and expresses whatever is impressed upon it. So whatever images you plant into the subconscious mind is impressed, will then be expressed through your actions, through frequency. Your frequency is what you frequently see. Your frequency is your thoughts, feelings, and actions emitted. Right now, watching this YouTube video, you feel my frequency. You're seeing me. You're seeing my belief around this material. You're feeling my energy, my teaching. You're absorbing this information, right? You're feeling my frequencies, my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions. You feel me here? That is what we need to change. We have been conditioned to gather information But results don't come from information. It comes from what's impressed upon the subconscious mind. So the best way I like to explain this is the iceberg experiment. So let's go ahead and check this out. And I love this. As I was creating this, teaching for you guys, I love this, and I wanted to put here for you. So check this out. Look at this line here. This is the gap between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and this is your everyday reality. So let's start with the everyday reality and work our way down to the frequency level, aka the development level of the matrix, right? God level. So at the top level, we have actions, attitudes, and moods. So here is where you have your thoughts, feelings, right? This is where your thought, feeling, frequency, like living in the feeling of the state fulfilled, right? Consciousness, you're choosing your thoughts. You're making decisions about what you want. What kind of watch do you want, right? I wanted the Rolex with the blue face and then the dial and the Jubilee band with the fluted bezel, right? This is the Rolex that I wanted, right? I chose the Rolex that I wanted. I chose the villa. I chose the car. I chose to live in Dubai. I chose $100,000 per month. I chose my life. You can choose your life, and that's done here, right? Thoughts and feelings. You got this part done. This is the easy part. And then you have and this is the conscious part, right? This is your interface. This is your interface with the matrix. This is the character level. Your GTA character level 6, and you're interacting in the game. You're not at development. You're just a player going through mission 1, mission 2, mission 3, and you're going to be playing this game for the next 90 days or 90 years of your life, right? Now, we have the environmental factors at this level, right? Your relationships, your meaning, your purpose, your diet, your society, where you live, how broke you are, how much cash you have, your business, your results, right? You have your environmental stimulation. That's the video game you're actually playing in, right? Remove the character. That's the actual playing field, the 3D world. Then you have the character, that's you, conscious interface, right? Conscious mind interface. Now, let's get to the deeper layer. This is your insight. This is your ability to tap into the unseen world. Like, this is your intuition. This is your ability to feel things into existence, right? This is your ability to make choices because you have this inner calling. Prayer is us speaking to God, but intuition is God speaking to us. That is the level, that is the spiritual faculties. You see, when we get here to the insight level, this is the first time we get out of the physical faculties and start to get into the spiritual faculties, which is the pre-conscious mind or the intuitive part of the mind. Those are the spiritual faculties, right? Now we can start to get into the lower layer here. You get insight from the conscious mind, but then when you get it from the heart, right, thoughts, feelings, that is when we start to get into a deeper layer of the subconscious mind. What will happen is through the sixth sense that was explained to us by Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. The sixth sense is given to us by the subconscious mind. Where does that idea come from? It's downloaded from the matrix. It's downloaded from the frequency. It's downloaded from that God DNA developer level. Because you repetitiously planted the image with emotion and feeling, repetitiously, that now the subconscious mind speaks back to you, or the God feeling part speaks back to you through an image that will flash to the screen of your mind. Hold up, following me here. Okay? And that idea that you will implement, and that's a quantum action. That's a quantum idea. That one action is worth 100 micro actions. How can you make one YouTube video that's worth more than the last 100 YouTube videos? How can you make one sales call that's worth more than your last 10 sales calls combined, right? That's what we call a quantum action. Y'all following me here, right? So we go from insight, which is a conscious idea, to the intuitive, which is the heart. Mind and heart, electromagnetic. You heard me say this before. The body is an electromagnetic switching station, meaning you send out the signal from the brain, right? Electrical insight, but you attract it back to you with your heart as intuition, electromagnetic. You guys following me here, right? Now we're going to start getting into the deeper layers, which is your habit patterns, also known as your subconscious mind or the paradigm. This is your multitude of your habits. This is where your deep programming is. This is the part that we need to shift, but it's not done through watching a bunch of YouTube videos. If anything, like I highly recommend you guys to not be binge watching a bunch of people. You're watching the guys, this influencer, this guy, law of assumption guy, this guy. You're gathering all this information, but you're doing absolutely nothing to change the habit pattern of your paradigm. I highly recommend going deep on just one person to study. Like, for example, if you're studying me, Mr. Law of Attraction, you're also studying Bob Proctor and vice versa, right? I teach this in a different way, but everything I teach is for the most basis of Bob Proctor. I was a consultant with him for 2 years, right? So obviously it's a massive influence on who I am and where I teach from. So I recommend going deep on one layer of coach and stop, lollygagging and being half pregnant on multiple different people. So one of the things you're going to start to learn is not about the gathering, it's about the changing of this habitual patterns in the subconscious mind. Then we get into the deep layer, the unconscious mind. That's the belief level. You might be working on your business, but you don't believe it will work for you because you don't actually like it. You're doing it because you don't even know why you're doing it, because you bought some course for some ad and it makes sense to run the agency or to trade the crypto, but you don't give a shit about the business. You'll never be able to succeed because you'll never tap into the law of authenticity, which is this unseen force that swifts you onto success because you're tapped into God mode. You're tapped into the law of authenticity, which just bridges the law of abundance to and through you. And people can copy your ads, your funnels, your content, your everything, but they can't copy your frequency. Sheesh! Yes, sir. They can't copy your frequency. Y'all following me here? That's the level of the belief. And so what's happening here is we have the conscious mind, which is connected to the outside stimuli. See, hear, smell, taste, and touch, your 5 senses, which is keeping you in the matrix, which is keeping you as a video game character. Yes, sir. I'm absolutely loving this. Make sure your guys are staying locked in. Man, I'm just here staring at this beautiful villa here in Bali. Tomorrow we're going to Thailand. And I just been really enjoying life, and I've been wanting to make better content for you guys. So I know you guys are enjoying this one, Some people already left. Like, I know we're probably about 20 minutes into this. Some people are already distracted. They left. Think about this. Like, I'm literally giving this away for free. Like, I had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn all this stuff, right? And then years of implementation. I'm going to give it to you guys for free here. And some people want to go watch some video or some podcast. I don't know. But let's get back into it. You guys are here, so I want to focus on you. So let's talk about the paradigms and habits. A paradigm is a collection of your habits, right? So it's your programming. It's a habit that is fixed in your subconscious mind that controls your automatic behavior. So for example, there's people here that had already left my video, like my dream clients. At the end of the day, I run a business, right? So there's a percentage of you that are going to want to hire me. We'll talk about that later. And that's how I run a multiple 7-figure business, because high-level people, they have money, but they don't have time. They don't want to sit here watching 100 of my YouTube videos, nor do they want to spend the next 3 years figuring it out themselves. They'd rather spend $8,000, $10,000, $20,000 to hire me and fix it themselves in 90 days or less. And that's what all those testimonies you see on my channel, those are mostly within 60 days. So that's my business model, right? So in order to do that, we have to fix our automatic behavior. It takes time to understand how to do that, especially if you're doing it full time. And a paradigm is dictated by your habitual behavior, whether you like it or not. It's controlling how much money is coming in and out of your life. That is what I wanted to get you guys to understand. So I found this nice I found this nice visual as I was making this for you guys, and I want to break this down for you. So everything starts here at the belief level. Hopefully you guys can see this, but follow me here, okay? So our beliefs drive your thoughts, right? Your beliefs about how much money you can make, your beliefs about if you can make $10,000 this month, $100,000 this month, if you can have that dream girlfriend or whatever, women are this or that, right? Whatever you're going through, right? So we have thoughts about the circumstances in your world. And most of the thoughts you have are influenced by the outside people, the people you're watching on Instagram, YouTube, the news, right? All these kind of people, right? So those thoughts then create feelings. Those feelings, aka your frequencies, right, that you're emitting, are then create your actions or lack thereof, known as inaction. Those actions then create your results. Those results then create evidence for your beliefs, and it starts this self-perpetuating cycle. And those beliefs then start the cycle over again and create your thoughts. So that's the thought model. So that's what's going on here. You have to think outside the box. Literally, you have to think outside the matrix. Like it's imagine you were programmed, like follow me here. Imagine you were programmed as a GTA character in the server by Rockstar Game, the developer. You're here as a character born in. And then you're living life for the last 10, 20, 30, 50, 60 years of your life and you're just living in the video game simulation, driving your car, passing missions, meeting people, gathering contacts, 5-star missions, whatever. And at some point you start to realize that this feels like it's not real. It feels like organized. And you start getting this deeper beliefs that you might be in some kind of simulation or matrix. You following me here? It's at that level that the developer, aka Rockstar, who developed Grand Theft Auto, your character, starts to realize that you can play at the character level. You may not see the developer because he's already set the plan in motion, but you can play at developer level where you don't have to be a mundane NPC in the video game, but you can rather put a cheat code in. A cheat code where you don't necessarily have to pass mission logistically, mission 1, mission 2, mission 3. You can go mission 1 to mission 100. That you can go from 10K a month to 100K a month. That you can do things easier on effortless mode without dying, without heartache and frustration and time energy in the quantum, and you can operate in the quantum space in the field of the developer. That is known as the frequency level. That's the thought level. That's the consciousness level. That's the mode in which we want to operate our life, right? And so what starts to happen is this. Check this out. Number one here, when it comes to this idea of paradigms, is most people are stuck because they're in the they're in the video game character mode. They're in the simulation. They're in the matrix, right? So here's the cue, for example. This is an example for those of you that are stuck in social media. The cue is you're bored, or you're doing some work, or you're studying, right? And you're usually bored. And 2, you crave a break from the boredom. So what do, right? Cue, you're bored. 2, craving a separation of feeling state. Number 3, response starts scrolling on social media. This is something like Vanessa was always scrolling. You're typically never going to see me scrolling on social media ever. Like, I never just scrolling. Like I'm consciously aware to not scroll on social media, right? But some people are not. Some people are just scrolling through social media because they're bored, just giving away their attention for free to somebody else. The most important thing of your life, which is attention, you're giving it for free. Come on, guys. And number 4, your reward is distraction or relief from the boredom, right? That's one example of a paradigm. Are you scrolling social media, but you have a pattern of what time you woke up today, whether you watch dirty websites or not, whether you hit the gym today, what your eating habits, what your habits with women, what your beliefs around women and dating or men and vice versa, right? You have millions of these habits that are controlling the day-to-day part of your life. And that's the part where you're the NPC in the video game. We need to shift to the next level. You guys liking this? You guys liking this? We're not done yet. We got a lot to do, a lot to cover. I know you guys got a page of notes. Yes, sir. I feel like I'm in flow state right now. I'm enjoying this, guys. Let me know if you guys like these styles of videos. We used to do these videos a lot. I kind of got more into the lifestyle videos, but I'm kind of tugging more to get back into this direction of these masterclasses because I enjoy these, making videos with you guys. I enjoy the making them, gathering like all these, worksheets and everything. It's really cool. Why do we do things that we don't want to do? Sometimes we repeat behaviors that produce unwanted results. Like, you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing today. The sales calls, posting on social media, not supposed to be watching those dirty sites. You're supposed to wake up early, hit the gym, eat this, right? Eat that, do your daily actions in your business. You know what you need to do, but why haven't you done it yet? If you could just simply do exactly what you know you're supposed to do, that gap is what we call the knowing doing gap. That's the purpose of this video. That gap right there is worth millions of dollars. As you guys know, I told you guys before that I struggled for 5 years in business. From 19 years old, I started in network marketing in this company called Primerica. Interesting thing. Like, I have nothing wrong to say about the network company. I enjoyed it. It changed my life, impacted me, but I made no freaking money. So if it was about making money, no, but it's about personal development, it changed me, okay? And I worked there. I remember working like 10-hour days, waking up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., going out, prospecting, going to the malls, getting names and numbers, messaging people on social media to try to recruit them. And I did that for 2.5 years and made $20,000. That's crazy. I made that in the last 24 hours. And I did that in 2.5 years. So I knew what to do. I knew how to recruit, do numbers, and do my outreach, all these kind of things. And I know how to sell the insurance, and I didn't grow. So then I left and I did a social media marketing agency in Miami. And I bought the courses, and I knew how to run the ads. I knew how to get clients. I knew how to send 100 DMs. And I did all that. And sure enough, I made a little bit of money, but I got stuck again. I got stuck around $5,000-$6,000 a month. and it wasn't working. So I said, this doesn't work. Let me go to a different business. So then I went and tried Shopify and drop shipping, made a little bit of money, and then got stuck again. Said, no, it's not this. I could try something else. You saw the pattern. I did that for 7 to 8 businesses. Then I tried to start a coaching business, teaching people how to launch courses, and I made a little bit of money, then got stuck again. And I was like, it's not this, it's something else. And I was like, what is this something else? Like, what's the end, right? And that's when I found Bob Proctor. It was at the time where I was failing. I was driving for Uber, sleeping on a couch. And I was like, there's something, why do I keep looking for something else? I make a little bit, then get stuck right under 10K. And then I learned all this stuff I'm learning now, but the difference between me and I would say 80% of you was I didn't try to figure it out myself. I've watched all of Bob Proctor's videos, even before I was making any money. And this is actually why I decided to hire him. I was watching his videos and nothing was really changing for me. I had the notes, I had the workbooks, all this stuff, nothing changed. It wasn't until I hired him and then really started to get the coaching and implementation that everything changed. And that's what I'm talking about here, is that I've did this. I understand you. I understand why you're stuck and why you jump business models and you're trying these courses and watching videos and you're doing the hard work and doing the meditations and you're starting the businesses and you're working the 10-hour days and it doesn't seem like it's working for you. I understand you. I feel you. So it's because it's not about it's about reprogramming the subconscious mind. It's the control of your behavior. Even if you don't like the results, you keep doing what you're doing because of your programming. It's like there's this tug of war between your old paradigms, right, that are planted in your heart and your desired results that you have in your conscious mind. That's the gap here. You're torn between what you know and what and it's like one's more powerful. And we got to shift you. But let me tell you, it's this weird paradox because this video in a way will not change your life, but it will get you awareness on how to change your life if you know where to find it. It's like a weird thing. Because I got to teach this to you so you know how to change it, but simply watching this won't change it. It's like this weird paradox, right? And so what starts to happen is you have this wall. And by the way, I'm going to cover this in another lesson. We call this the terror barrier. You have this wall between your freedom and then this conflict between being bondage, using your conscious mind to reason yourself into a new identity, and then this conflict between bouncing in and out of fear, bouncing in and out of frustration, anxiety, bouncing into wondering if it's a different business model, hiring another strategy, bouncing in this just anxiety to wonder if it's the next level. That's what we're talking about here. So you're hitting this wall. We're calling this a terror barrier. So make sure you subscribe below, okay? And I'm going to cover this on another lesson. But by the way, so let's talk about breaking into the new habits and getting a step-by-step implementation plan, okay? So learning this material is powerful. This is what I teach for free on YouTube. Like, I don't have a course, by the way. There's no course. If somebody's trying to sell you a course, there is none. I don't sell courses, okay? It's all about implementation. That is what changes everything. That's what I've learned to do subconsciously. I started with Bob as a consultant and through maybe intuition and just my personality and just giftedness, right? I learned how to implement this, not only for myself, but for my clients. That's what you need to learn how to do, is implement this, what I'm teaching you specifically to the business. And most people are stuck because they don't know how to shift their subconscious mind in real life. You know what to do, but how to do it is another level. Meditations are great, but if you don't know how to implement a meditation and do these quantum actions, it's not going to work. So this is where I come in. Okay, so this is how this works. You're probably like me. You want a proven process from somebody that's done it before. This is so important. A proven process. I didn't come up with this. I am not a salesperson. I don't really claim to. I'm not an expert. All I am is your older brother that has been studying this for 5 years. I do this full time. I study this material. I implement it. As I implement it, I get more clients. I get more money. And my business is a reflection of me implementing. I'm literally a product of the product. I'm a product of what Bob exactly told me. If you study this material, you'll need a telescope to look back at your life in 6 months. Within 45 days, I was making $100K a month. Within 6 months, I made $500,000. I know. I became a product of the product, and my business model is a reflection of that, right? So I learned this from him. So having a step-by-step process that allows you to do that and eliminate the guesswork. Why? This is me. I'm just honestly transparent. You can feel it in my voice, my frequency. I'm talking to you transparently. Why try to figure it out yourself? I didn't. I needed help. I hired a coach. But if you want to, I guess it just takes you more time and more money. Because remember, I told you that example. What's your C-type goal? Let's just say your goal is to make $100,000 a month. Okay? and imagine what you're currently making. Let's just say you're making $10,000 a month. So let's just say this last month of February, you only made $10,000, but your goal was $100,000. What's the difference between the two? Between $100,000 a month and $10,000, $90,000. You missed out on $90,000 of potential unrealized income because of the gap, because you didn't know how to reach that level. Does that make sense? It actually costs you more money to not be at your desired frequency. That's what we're talking about here. It costs you more money to try to figure it out yourself. And honestly, just figuring it out. And that's honestly, this is where I come in. If you want to learn how to implement it yourself, message me on Instagram and we can talk about it. Okay? We can get into the next level. We'll have a conversation. So message me the word quantum leap and we can talk about how to go to the next level. Okay? Oh, by the way, you can find the link in the description below or message me at Mr. Law of Attraction. We'll have a conversation. We'll talk about an implementation plan to take it to your business so you can scale. Okay? So let's talk about the root cause of change. To experience permanent change, we must change the primary cause of your results. Does that make sense? Permanent change. I'm not talking about inconsistent growth. 1 month you make 10 grand, the next you make 8, the next you make 15, then you're back to 6. It's like inconsistencies or being stuck. You want permanent results. And those permanent results are going to have to come from a permanent part of your mind, which is not this conscious mind, the video game level, developer level, in the subconscious mind. So a common mistake is trying to change your results by behavior alone. You're going to wake up early. You're my cold bath people. You're going to take your cold bath. You're going to start a new business. You're going to hire a new coach, right? You're going to try to change your business by behavior. But guess what? You can keep that up for what? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. You will always revert back to your baseline self-image. You will always revert back to your baseline subconscious mind. If you do not change that, your baseline, nothing else will change for you. So true transformation happens when you change the paradigm, the subconscious frequency that you're operating from. Remember that image we talked about earlier where you have the different layers of consciousness? We need to change it because changing behavior alone is only temporary. And let me preface this. Hold on, pay attention. Understanding you have a negative paradigm does not mean it's going to change. Just knowing that you have a negative paradigm, knowing what it is, does not mean it's going to change. It's something deeper, brother and sister. Follow me here. So here is what we call the thermostat. So no matter how much change you do at the temperature level, which is your results, the thermostat will always reset it. Like right now, it's starting to get a little hot right here. I have these you guys saw in the intro. I got this, the villa here, and the sun's hitting from this side. And so all this glass is just letting all this heat in, and it's getting really hot. The cold air is not being able to overpower it, right? The thermostat needs to get bumped up to bring the temperature down because there's extra light coming in that's heating up the space. That thermostat is your paradigm. It's your subconscious mind. It's the base layer of self-image and self-talk. That is the frequency or the thermostat which you're operating from. So we're going to be covering this particular lesson in another video. So make sure you subscribe below or check out one of the videos after this where I'll explain this on how to do that, right? That base layer, the thermostat. It's known as your self-image. So what we have to do is plant a winner's image in your subconscious mind so that you have winning actions, and then you have results that you've chosen, which is your winning results, okay? That will be another lesson that we will cover. I've already got that one planned for you guys. So let's talk about understanding the power of habit. When we understand paradigms, we understand the power of habit. We can only change when we understand how the subconscious mind is programmed. This is what my attempt is to do on this YouTube video. Knowledge is not enough to get results. AKA watching this YouTube video, watching the next YouTube video, and the next influencer, and the next one, reading the next YouTube video. By the way, like some of you will get results from my YouTube video, but the majority of you will not, because you guys are not. It's like, how do I explain this? It's like you guys are in mechanic school, and you're reading the books on how to fix the what do you call it? Catalyst? You're trying to fix the car, right? Whatever, you get what I'm saying. And you're just simply reading the books, but that's not going to change how to actually fix the car. You got to actually go out there and learn how to fix the car. And even when you get into that part, you might run into some problems. You might realize that this part is cracked, or you need a different replacement, that the image might not directly correlate to what's inside the car. And this is where a coach or a mentor helps you make a micro change once you're in the field. That is what you either have to learn how to do yourself through experience over the next few years. You're not going to figure this out this month. It's going to take you a couple years, okay? Or you hire a coach. There's the only two ways to do it. So knowing is not enough to get results. Results come from behavior, and behavior is caused by the paradigm. Your current results tell a true story of how you are programmed. So let's talk about the secret of how the high achievers actually get results. So high achievers are not successful because they know a lot of things. It's because they know how to do things. Like, you probably know people that are not that intellectually smart. They don't know how to do a lot of things, but yet they get results. I want to tell you guys this fun story. This is a couple years ago. I was in Miami, and I had one of my clients come into town, and he was in gold sales. He sold gold, okay, like over the phone, like retirement gold. And his mentor came into town. His mentor was doing $3 million a month. I didn't know this after the weekend, but his mentor came into town, and they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a day, like at this. Like, these guys are loaded. He's paying for everybody because this is what his business. They hadn't had a vacation in like 3 years, so they came and blew like at least $500,000 that weekend in Miami. Blew my mind. But I'm seeing this guy, and he's telling me he makes $3 million a month. And you know what's the craziest thing is he was practically illiterate. He barely knew how to read. He was from, where was he from? I think he was from Lebanon or something like this. He's from somewhere in the Middle East. And he barely knew how to read. But yeah, he was earning millions upon millions of dollars. And he was just a guy that took his conscious mind. He said, because I was teaching this, like sharing with him the things I teach now. He's like, dude, I use that material. I used to visualize where I'm at now. I used to visualize the house and the car in my life. And it became manifest. It was so cool to speak to somebody at such a high level and to sit with him and share these materials that I'm sharing with you guys now for free on YouTube, and to see him say that this is exactly what he did to get to where he's at now. And it not only confirmed for me, but it was really cool to see and experience it from his point of view and his story. So these high achievers, ladies and gentlemen, they're just people that learn how to implement this better. Their paradigms are aligned. The frequencies are aligned. Their paradigm, which is the frequency in which they see themselves, their thoughts, feelings, actions, their self-image, their self-talk, are aligned with their actions and behaviors. And that's how they got their desired results. When we focus on the paradigm, that is when everything shifts. If you're not getting results, that's what you're not doing. You know what to do, but you don't know how to do it. And this is what I teach to my clients how to do. Because yes, there's some information that I don't teach here on YouTube that I give to my clients. That's a major part of why they quantum leap. It's the same program that I took that I've quantum leaped. But I give them that part, right? So that they're studying every single day. They have their daily routine. They have their meditations, right? I give this to the clients, right? But then I do that extra layer, that above and beyond, by giving them my one-on-one time and my experience, so I could teach them how to take it to their specific coaching business, the fitness business, their crypto trading, their real estate business, their agency. And I teach this at the business level, and this is where they get the results. And they start to learn the language of, this is how I do the conscious mind. And then this is how I get the intuition. This is how I get the feeling state, right? They start to understand it after a couple months of working together closely. And then their eyes open up, and then they start to understand the language of the frequency, language of the matrix, the language of the developer level. Then they go off on their own, and they can do it. They can self-iterate. Think about this. Bob Proctor taught this to me, and I've just learned how to self-iterate. Like, I don't really, like, obviously having a coach helps me out, but if I find a better coach than the late great Bob Proctor, maybe I hire him. But these days I don't really hire. I just get my better to self-iterate. This is where I want to get you in the language of doing. Sometimes that takes a lot of time. And so that way you can build up your consciousness. That's all it is being able to go from a survival consciousness to reason and integrity. This is where you're at now. And then going into the spiritual paradigm where you play at the developer level, the quantum level, the frequency level, and where you start to collapse time frames. Like, remember the 3D model, and then you collapse to the 5D model, where it's like you collapse time and space. He's like, you go from 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month, not by time and logic and increment growth, but by quantum jumping. You're playing at a developer level, collapsing. That's what we're talking about. That's done at the quantum place. So let's go ahead and recap. So we want to focus on shifting the paradigm, and the results will take care of themselves. Your results are a reflection of your paradigm, and change the paradigm and you change your life. Guys, you guys know I used to sleep in a car for 5 months in Miami. I slept on air mattresses. You guys know how I'm very transparent. I have the old videos, especially if you check out my old YouTube channel, the one where I have been making videos for 14 years. This is a new channel. I've been making videos for years. I documented my entire journey, especially on the other channel. You guys know where I came from, how I struggled with. I was so transparent. Even when I was driving for Uber and doing Amazon, delivery videos, I used to do that. Then you guys see this side now, multi-7-figure earner, living dream life. Teaching my clients how to do that, right? That gap is done through shifting of the paradigm by crossing the gap between knowledge and implementation. That gap is worth millions. That gap for me, and when I hired Bob and got a coach, was worth millions of dollars, and it's worth millions of dollars to you. But I implore you guys, you gotta either figure it out yourself, which takes time and energy, which is totally fine. That's what I did, along with the coach. Or you can go the route where you can press time frames, spend a little bit of money to just go faster. I truly, at the bottom of my heart, want to help you guys. And I want you guys to understand, I don't do this for money. I don't need to make a 1-hour YouTube video for money. I truly enjoy this. And I really want you guys to get more results, because the more results that you get, the more you come back to watch YouTube videos, the more my brand grows, the more testimonials you get, the more clients. So it's a self-positive, it's a self-perpetuating cycle that's positive. So I have a financial interest, a heartfelt interest to help you guys grow. And for a majority of you guys, because I fell in the majority, you need some type of mentor, coach to help you, guide you, even if it's just 90 days so you can start and go off. I needed it. Some of you might need it. Whether you hire me or hire somebody else, I don't really care. The point is, I think if you guys get some guidance on it, it'll just help you out dramatically. Some of you are having traumatic results, right? It'll help you out dramatically, and you'll be able to go to the next level. That's where we go. That's how we go to the next level here, right? And so the action step is actually for my clients, because now we have the worksheets you need to implement. I teach you guys, this is where the client stuff starts to go into, right? But that action step is a secret that I give only to the clients. But I know you guys got a lot of value from this. If you are on the fence where you're like, hey man, this was good stuff, but I want to learn to implement it, message me below on Instagram. It's me. There's no setter. You're talking to me, right? On the call. Most likely, if we get on an enrollment call, you're like, hey, I want to hire you, DeAndre. You're going to be on a call with me, and you can feel my transparency that I truly want to help you. So just message me. Let's talk about it. It does cost money. It's a 4-figure investment. I'll be transparent. So mostly the 6-figure earners, or if you're around that level where you can make a 4-figure investment, and then we talk about it. But whether or not, just subscribe to the channel, watch this video here, and just keep learning yourself, implementing yourself. If you want to go faster, message me on Instagram. See my Miss Law of Attraction. I'll see you in the next video.